Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Thursday, February 2nd. So today we have the moon in her place of power in Cancer energy. Of course, she shifted in there early yesterday, and we are definitely going to have a full day of moving through our feelings. We really have to take a good look at what it is that we're afraid to move on from, giving us a huge perspective on our attachments, where it is that, yes, we may have some pretty big dreams that we want to pursue, but we also have a lot of things that we're not willing to give up in order for us to go after them. Taking this examination within our inner realm is definitely going to reveal where it is that we're holding on too tightly to elements of the past and where they are essentially blocking us from actually moving on into our future. We are introverted. We are a little bit passive aggressive, a little bit defensive, if you will. We have to move inward in order to find a centered space in our emotions and topics and themes around the home environment, the family dynamics, boundaries being tested. All of those particular topics and themes are going to be of interest. Keep in mind, we are building towards the full moon in Leo, which means that we're going to have a bubbling up of this heart space in order for us to be prepared to have a major emotional release when the full moon in Leo hits. So, with 10 different aspects here today and 9 of them involving the moon, you best believe we are going to be moving through the feels. The moon is going to square off, get into the boxing ring with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings, who is in Aries energy, really kind of pushing us to want to get out in the world, kind of leave the past behind, really create new opportunities for us to grow and expand our realities, move into new levels of abundance. And of course, all of that possible because we are boosting our confidence, boosting our self-esteem, and really starting to believe in ourselves once again. But this square is a tension point, and we are kind of popping off with Jupiter, who likes to kind of bring a intensity to our emotions, magnifying whatever it is that we're sitting in, turning the volume all the way up on our inner realm. And we're definitely going to fight it out because Jupiter's over here pushing us into the future, while the moon in Cancer, of course, has a death grip on the past. The moon is going to bump into the sun in a very harmonious way. So this is a good energy because the sun is in Aquarius energy, shining a bright light on the vision, the dream, the possibilities of the future if we would just break free from some of the attachments and limitations that we put on ourselves. Of course, this is a positive interaction, which means that there is going to be an aha moment in this present moment, seeing where it is that we are attached to the past, seeing where it is that we're being called into the future, where in the here and now, we have to have a realization on what is weighing us down, what is blocking us from moving forward, and where in our emotions we actually have to kind of kick some things to the curb if we stand a chance in actually being able to move forward and create the realities that our visions and our dreams are inspiring us to create. The moon is going to trine with Venus. Venus, of course, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, money, who is in Pisces energy, kind of in love with love in her own little fantasy dream realm, if you will. She's really exploring the depths, the intimate connections that she currently has, and doing some shadow work. But this is a positive energy, a positive interaction, which means that we're not going to do a deep dive in that shadow realm. Instead, we have some water on water action here. The moon in Cancer, water energy. Venus in Pisces, water energy. What do we get with water energy? Well, it's highly emotional, super intuitive, very cleansing, very healing, and transformative. What this means is that we're coming to some realizations on what it is that we want, need, and desire in our lives, especially where our relationships are concerned, where safety, security, stability is concerned, where we are definitely identifying the lack of some of these qualities and characteristics in our lives in order for us to really take control and create some of the elements that we're being called to pursue. The moon is going to sextile the true node. The true node, of course, our soul's path, our destiny point, wanting to get us on the right path to reach our soul's mission, our soul's purpose. This is a sextile, which means there's a blending of energies. And right now, emotionally speaking, we are feeling very positive about the inner realm inventory that we're going through, realizing what it is that we're overly attached to, what it is that we're afraid to leave behind, where the fears, the doubts, and insecurities are blocking us from moving forward, and tapping into our emotions and our intuition in order to push us past that uncomfortable point where we're actually able to move forward. The moon is going to interact with Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire, who is in Gemini energy, now direct, really kind of sorting through the mental battlefield of the choices, decisions, options, paths, directions that we all have on our plate to kind of decide from. This was an awkward interaction though, so there is going to be a little bit of a tension point. We have a learning opportunity or a choice point, so to speak, and emotionally speaking, we are going to feel very divided. This Gemini energy that has our intellect kind of tore up between the pros and the cons of all the different choices, decisions, and avenues that we have in front of us to take. Emotionally speaking, we're getting a little bit overwhelmed. We're getting a little bit fear-based. We're getting a little bit, I'm going to say, scared of the momentum, the impulse, the intensity pushing us into the future. And of course, the moon in Cancer is very connected to the past. So there is a little bit of resistance here to actually move forward, to take action, to let Mars lead us on this brand new path. And therefore, the choice point is, are we going to stay or are we going to go? The moon is going to bump into Saturn, the lord of karma, ruling over roles and responsibilities, systems, routines, foundations, structures. He is in Aquarius energy, the latter degrees, preparing to move into Pisces energy in March. Go ahead, listen to the 2023 energy forecast if you haven't already, because March is going to be a very pivotal month of change and transformation. Right now, we aren't really feeling good. Why is that? Well, because Saturn wants to get us focused on what it is that we have to build in our lives in order to create the bridge that's going to get us away from where it is that we're at to where it is that we desire to be. So what is the problem, you may ask? Well, the moon in Cancer doesn't want to. We just want to stay here. We want to stay here and we want to look back on the past. We want to romanticize the past. We want to have nostalgia. We want to try and convince ourselves to settle in this present moment so that we don't have to boss up and take accountability and responsibility for our lives. And we don't have to really push ourselves into a new level of boldness and bravery and courage in order to build a brand new foundation in our lives that will get us out of where it is that we're at and where it is that we desire to be. Venus is going to sextile the true node. This is a beautiful energy. The reason being, the true node is our soul path, the path that we need to be on to actually move forward. Venus, of course, and Pisces energy, kind of getting lost in the, I'm going to say, emotional, intuitive, and spiritual aspects of this Piscean flow. This is a sextile, so again, tapping into the positive qualities of both. And what we're going to see here is a lot of peace, a lot of balance, a lot of cooperation going on within ourselves, within our emotions, mostly due to the relationship dynamics that we are now very focused on. We want to grow, we want to improve. Does this mean that we're going to snap our fingers and suddenly see all the dysfunctional relationships in our lives just shift into peace and harmony? No, but it is going to give us the realization on what needs to happen in order for that to actually take place. Again, this is about seeing the growth, seeing the improvement, or seeing the potential or opportunity for growth and improvement in our relationship dynamics. Now, the moon is going to square off with Chiron, the wounded healer. This is not going to feel good. This is not going to be fun. This is when our fears, our doubts, our insecurities are coming full circle. This is where we're battling it out with the old identity, the old version of self, and of course, the new one that we're trying to create. Why? Because the moon in Cancer is holding on for dear life to what is old, tried, tested, true, comfortable, familiar. There's no growth in any of that. We know our higher selves. We know that we have to kind of let go and detach from elements of our past if we stand a chance in building and recreating not only our reality, but ourselves, stepping into our new power. This is a square. This is a tension point. We have to face the worst parts of ourselves in order to identify what needs to change the most, what needs to transform the fastest in order for us to reach new levels of our soul's potential. The moon is going to square off with the sun, not in a square. I guess I shouldn't have called it a square off, but this is an awkward interaction. It's an opportunity to see where it is that the past has us stuck and the future has us stuck in a state of dreaming. Why? Because the present version of ourselves, we don't know which way to look. Do we find the peace, the harmony, the comfortability in what is old, tried, tested, and true? Do we lie to ourselves and tell ourselves that we should be happy and content with our current circumstances? Or should we really align with the sun shining a bright light in this Aquarian energy on the possibilities of our future if we were just to be able to break through the ceiling, the limitation, the attachments that are essentially holding us back? The moon is going to sextile with Uranus. This is a beautiful energy, and here is why. First of all, Uranian energy, it's the aha moment that we need, the epiphany that we need, the jolt, the shift to our perspective that we need to say, hey, holy crap, we actually do need to make a spontaneous change in our lives if we want a different result. And hey, I feel like I'm ready to actually make said changes. Uranus energy shocks us. It awes us. It disrupts us. The moon in Cancer is our emotional realm. Something is shifting. Our heart space is shifting. Realizations are shifting. Aha moments and epiphany are changing the way that we actually feel. And that change is coming by realizing that we are blocking ourselves. We are our biggest weakness. We are our biggest challenge. We are the boss that we have to beat down in order to actually get to the next level.